Help! Our house is on fire! The frantic 911 call shattered the stillness of the early morning. Flames engulfed the suburban home as a terrified family scrambled to escape, their world turning to ash in a matter of minutes. But this wasn't an accident. It was arson, calculated, personal, and fueled by revenge. The man responsible had traveled 700 miles, driven by jealousy and an obsession that spiraled out of control. Under the cloak of darkness, he arrived in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, with one chilling purpose: to destroy the home of his ex's new lover. What could push someone to such an extreme? How did he plan his fiery revenge? And what happened when the flames died down? This is more than a crime. It's a journey into the depths of obsession. Welcome to Michigan Man drives 700 miles to torch home of ex's new man. You won't believe how this one ends. A trail of smoke and screams. Inside the Zelensky home, Stacy stirred in her sleep, her body responding to an invisible alarm. Something felt wrong. An eerie silence hung in the air, broken only by the faintest creak of a floorboard. Her eyes fluttered open, her instincts on high alert. Stacy wasn't the type to dismiss a gut feeling, and this time was no exception. She sat up in bed, straining to hear. Then it hit her. The acrid scent of smoke wafting into the room. Her heart raced as dread gripped her chest. Without a second thought, she jumped out of bed, her pulse quickening with every step toward the hallway. Downstairs, the faint orange glow of flames confirmed her worst fears. "Andrew!" she screamed, panic sharpening her voice as she bolted back up the stairs to wake her husband. The fire wasn't waiting. It spread with ruthless efficiency, eating away at walls and furniture. Within moments, the home was engulfed in chaos. Stacy's frantic cries jolted Andrew from his sleep. Their young daughter, Ava, was crying as Andrew scooped her up in his arms, shouting for everyone to get out. Stacy's parents, Joe and Karen Wendowski, stumbled out of their room, coughing and disoriented. The smoke was suffocating, its dark tendrils curling through every corner of the house. "Go! Get to the lawn!" Andrew yelled. Alex, their teenage son, froze for a moment, his mind struggling to process the surreal nightmare unfolding around him. But when he realized there was no time for hesitation, he threw open his bedroom window. With a deep breath and trembling legs, he leaped into the cold February night, landing on the frost-bitten lawn below. As the family scrambled outside, coughing and shaking, a chilling realization sank in. This fire wasn't an accident. A mother's instinct saves 6 lives. In the terrifying chaos, Stacy's quick thinking became the difference between life and death. Later, during a press conference, Bensalem's public safety director, William McVeigh, emphasized the gravity of her actions. "It's a miracle they all survived," he said solemnly. "Without her vigilance and swift decisions, this would have been a tragedy beyond imagination." But the family's relief was short-lived. As they huddled together on the lawn, a devastating silence filled the air. Max and Bella, their beloved dogs, were nowhere to be found. Despite the family's frantic calls and desperate attempts to re-enter the house, the fire had claimed the 2 loyal companions. Tears streaked their soot-covered faces as they mourned the loss, their cries mingling with the wail of sirens approaching in the distance. A deep sense of heartbreak settled over them, an unspoken grief heavy in the cold night air. Ava, too young to understand the full weight of the tragedy, clutched her mother's leg, sobbing for her missing pets. Alex stood frozen, fists clenched, blaming himself for not being able to save them. The house could be rebuilt, possessions replaced, but the empty space where Max and Bella once were would never be filled. As the first responders worked tirelessly around them, Stacy pulled her family close, whispering a promise. "We will get through this. Together." Piecing together the mystery. The blaze was ferocious but short-lived, with firefighters arriving in time to prevent the complete destruction of the Zelensky home. As the flames were extinguished, the focus shifted to uncovering the truth. From the very beginning, detectives suspected arson. Scorch marks along the foundation hinted at deliberate ignition points, and accelerant residue confirmed their theory. But who would do this? And why? A neighbor's grainy surveillance footage provided the first break in the case. The video showed a black sedan pulling up near the Zelensky home at 5 a.m. A lone figure emerged from the car, disappearing into the shadows. 10 minutes later, the figure sprinted back to the vehicle and sped away into the pre-dawn darkness. It was the only clue investigators had, but it was enough to spark a relentless pursuit of justice. A name emerges. As detectives combed through the footage and traced the vehicle, their determination began to pay off. The black sedan was linked to a man in Rockford, Michigan, 21-year-old Harrison Jones. The discovery marked a turning point in the investigation, revealing a story far more sinister than anyone could have anticipated. The trip that changed everything. Harrison Jones was no stranger to heartbreak. His relationship with his ex-girlfriend had ended months earlier, but the emotional wounds remained raw. She had moved on, striking up an online friendship with another man who lived in Bensalem. To Jones, it wasn't just a rejection. It was an insult that festered into obsession. Court documents later revealed the disturbing timeline of events. Jones was supposed to drive his ex-girlfriend to meet the man she had been chatting with online. But consumed by jealousy and rage, he made a chilling decision. Instead of facilitating the meeting, Jones embarked on a solo journey, over 730 miles and 11 grueling hours, to confront the man he saw as his rival. Investigators would later describe his mindset as murderous intentions in motion, a fiery confrontation. When Jones arrived in Bensalem, he parked his car a block away from the Zelensky home and waited for the cover of darkness. Armed with accelerants and a plan fueled by resentment, he approached the house. The Zelensky family, unaware of the danger lurking outside, remained sound asleep. Jones meticulously poured accelerants along the house's perimeter, ensuring the flames would spread quickly and ferociously. He ignited the fire, watching for a moment as his plan took shape. But what he hadn't counted on was Stacy Zelensky's vigilance. Her instincts, quick thinking, and refusal to ignore the signs thwarted Jones's plan, sparing her family's lives and ensuring his crime would not go unnoticed. The arrest. Detectives moved quickly once they identified Harrison Jones as their suspect. A search warrant for his Michigan home uncovered a trove of damning evidence: a gas can with traces of accelerant that matched the scene, burned clothing, and GPS data confirming his presence in Bensalem on the night of the fire. Jones was arrested without incident, but the brazenness of his crime left authorities stunned. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was calculated, deliberate, and cold-blooded, Public Safety Director McVeigh said at a press conference. Harrison Jones drove over 700 miles to commit arson and attempted murder, then returned home as if nothing had happened. Jones now faces 6 counts of attempted homicide, arson, and related charges. He is currently awaiting extradition to Pennsylvania, where he will stand trial for his actions. A community rallies together. The fire reduced the Zelensky home to little more than ashes, leaving the family with nothing but the clothes they had escaped in. Memories, cherished belongings, and their sense of security, all were consumed by the flames. In the aftermath, the community stepped up in an extraordinary show of support. A GoFundMe page was launched to help the Zelensky family rebuild their lives. On Monday, February 10, 2025, Andrew and Stacy Zelensky, along with their 2 children, Alex and Ava, and Stacy's parents, Joe and Karen Wendowski, lost everything. The page read. Within days, donations began pouring in from friends, neighbors, and even strangers moved by the family's harrowing ordeal. The funds provided a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable loss, compassion can light the way forward. A chilling reminder. The events of that February night will forever haunt the quiet streets of Bensalem. It serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly obsession can spiral into violence and how fragile the line between safety and danger can be. A final question. Obsession. Revenge. A man who drove 700 miles to destroy another's life. Could this have been stopped? Were there warning signs missed? And most chillingly, how many more Harrisons are out there, waiting for their moment to strike? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for more true crime stories. So, what do you think? Could Harrison Jones's terrifying act of vengeance have been foreseen, or did his obsession run too deep to detect? As the chilling details of this case continue to unfold, it leaves an unsettling mark not just on the Zelensky family, but on anyone following this gripping story. Which part of this harrowing saga left you stunned the most? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more compelling crime stories and discussions. Stay tuned. There's always more to uncover.